here is Raphael Warnock speaking to supporters, and this is not. There are material implications to getting 51 as opposed to 50 in the Senate. You're not at 52, so you can't eliminate the relevance of Manchin and Sinema. But the power sharing agreement that Chuck Schumer had to make with Mitch McConnell at the beginning of the Senate 2 years ago has changed or will change. No longer is it 50-50 on committees, which now means that Schumer will have the power to move even more judges through the Judiciary Committee and more legislation, although that's not going to pass. But the big issue, and there's subpoena power in the Senate now, too, that is much easier in the event that there's investigations that the Senate wants to do. But the real issue is that Joe Biden was able to appoint as many lifetime appointments to the judiciary at the same pace as Donald Trump in the first half of his administration. And that pace is going to be able to be picked up now. So this is a big deal in terms of the federal judiciary. It would also, obviously, in the event that there needs to be a Supreme Court pick, there is, a little more wiggle room.
There's a cushion. And there's also electoral implications for the Democrats in 2024 because the map is less favorable for them. 2/3 of Democratic Senate seats will be up for re-election, including some scary ones like Sherrod Brown, the other Nevada senator, Jackie, what's her last name again? Rosen, and then Manchin and Sinema both up in 2024. So it just makes it a little less scary for them.
A little less. But here is Raphael Warnock at the beginning of his now full-on 6-year term.
I am a proud son of Savannah, Georgia. A coastal city known for its verdant town squares and its cobblestone streets. Tall, majestic oak trees, dripping with Spanish moss, bend and beckon the love of history and horticulture to this city by the sea. My roots, like the roots of those oak trees, go deep down into the soil of Savannah and Waycross and Scriven County and Burke County. I am Georgia. I am an example and an iteration of its history, of its pain and its promise, of the brutality and the possibility. But because this is America, and because we always have a path to make our country greater against unspeakable odds, here we stand together. Thank you, Georgia.
So there it is, Raphael Warnock. Savannah was a particularly brutal city in terms of the slave trade. They not only it wasn't just auctions there. It was literally almost like a mall for slaves where you would go and just buy them. Yep.
Areas.
And a lot of brutality in that city. And Raphael Warnock wins. We also have to acknowledge that he won because Herschel Walker was his opponent. And, that's a pretty close race. It ended up being about 51 to 49%. And that is, when you think about Herschel Walker as the candidate, it's hard to imagine that if they hadn't gotten a stronger candidate, there might have been much tougher road to hoe. But
Republicans still have to do primaries.
Well, exactly. And the other thing is, we're looking 6 years out now.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance that Georgia is going to be a different Georgia in 6 years than it is today. I mean, that's particularly we'll look at the breakdown of youth vote in Georgia. But I imagine when those folks are 6 years older and the people who are, anywhere from 12 years old and older are going to be voting at that time. It's going to be a very different Georgia. So, and it's going to make a big difference in terms of getting judges in. And that is really important after the 4 years that we had with Donald Trump.